Hello, we're checking real quick to see if everything's working, then we'll be starting here shortly. Sorry for the delay and moving over to Facebook from YouTube. We had a little bit of trouble this evening. All right. Well, thank you all for joining this evening. I'm Patrick Underwood. I'm the board president for Communication Ambassadors. As everyone's schedules has changed, so has ours. So we decided to live stream tonight and change the format a little bit. I have a guest this evening is Brandon with Lost River Market and Deli here in Paoli. And he's got an exciting program to talk about this evening that they're starting to work on. Would you like to start with that this evening, Brandon?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Over at the market for, I don't know, it's been about a year now, we've started working on what's called our Orange County Farm to Health Initiative. And what that is we're trying to generate excitement, education around local food, local produce. And so the initiative has kind of two missions. It's to increase the amount of local produce that's moving through the area and supporting those local farmers. But it's also to educate local consumers on, how to use local produce, what's in season when, and basically where they can access it. So within the Orange County Farm to Health Initiative, we have what's called our Community Produce Package. And so what that is, it's a flight. So it's a 6 week program.
I can get one of those off,
Let's go ahead
posted
and
in
use
the
that.
comments real quick.
And so it's a 6 week program. We're going to do 4 sessions of it. So 4 6 week programs. And every 6 weeks, there will be a cooking class that happens once per week. At the end of each class, there will be a communal meal that is shared among the participants of the class. And then every participant will leave the class with a box of the ingredients of whatever recipe they prepared that week in the class. The format that we're using is what's called Cooking Matters. It's a cooking curriculum that basically provides lesson plans and recipes for us to use to educate people. Our lessons will be very centered around what's in season at the time and what produce is growing in the area. Let's see. And so that's the gist of it. The program is free for anyone to join. What we're trying to do is partner with specific organizations so that people that are a part of the same organization could potentially take the class together. And so right now we're just looking for interest. If you're interested in learning how to cook with fresh food, there's parts of the curriculum that focus on cooking on a budget, what to look for when you're shopping, as far as looking at like unit prices and things like that to shop smarter. The curriculum is pretty extensive, but overall, it's just to educate people on how to use fresh produce and other fresh ingredients in the kitchen and make quick, healthy meals at home.
All right. And if anyone's interested inside of our families and things that would like to take part, please message our page, let us know. Also asked us if any of our families would like to do this. I know we have about 3 or 4 that have actually already said they'd love to do this project. I think you're saying you'd like to have about 7 families at the minimum to take part?
Yeah, so the ideal class size is about 10 people. The minimum class size would be 5. And so that's what we would need, minimum of 5 people to do 1 6 week session. And so that's what we're looking at right now. And I have this, what I'm calling prospective participant sign up, because I don't want anyone to feel like by putting their name on this paper, they're locked into something. But basically, it just asks for your basic information, whether you're interested in joining or not, and whether you'd like to receive more information on the program. And I'm going to leave this with Patrick. so that
Yes.
if anybody is interested, they can reach out to him, and he can take your information and pass that along to myself.
And so just so you know, the information I'll need that if you want to message our page will be just your name, address, phone number, email address. And if you'd like more information so that I can reach out, and they can also include you in their email list for this.
Yeah, and so the first session of this isn't starting until May 10th, so we still got a little bit of time here. But we're just trying to gauge community interest on if people are interested in this kind of program, and what we can kind of expect moving forward. So.
I greatly appreciate for doing this. I know our families have been really interested about this.
Mm-hmm.
Over the last couple of weeks, you guys have actually started some things that are really interesting over at Lost River Market in response to what's going on in our community. The first one was the food delivery. Would you like to talk a little bit about that for some of the families that might not be able to get out due to weak immune systems and things like that?
Yeah, so that's very straightforward. We have no formal online ordering or anything like that, but we just are encouraging people to call us, and if they need delivery, we'll figure it out through a conversation on the phone. So if you want groceries delivered, obviously you want to have in mind kind of what you want, and we can walk you through what we have in stock at the time when you call. But all you need to do is call the store. Our number is 812-723-3735. And just just tell us that you want to have some groceries delivered. We still have prepared foods such as salads, sandwiches, and wraps. But any of our groceries are available, and we just want to make this service available to anyone in the community exactly that can't get out but still obviously needs to eat. So we just encourage people to call because we can figure it out through a conversation on the phone.
Right. And then there was also the essentials bag that you all have started as well. It kind of goes hand in hand with the delivery program.
It does. So what we did was created what we're calling our bag of basics. We have 1 pound of local ground beef in there. There's a dozen local eggs from Hall's Family Farm. We have a loaf of bread and a half gallon of milk. And so it's just a quick grab and go bag that people can let us know they want. If they call ahead, we can pre-make the bag and they can pick it up at the store. Again, we can do delivery on those as well. And that bag total cost is $12.99 for those essential items.
All right. And I thank you so much for doing these projects and getting them developed so quickly to help the community. But you guys have also, Lost River Market Deli has been very involved in terms of, we actually met, I think the first time was over at the Health Coalition meeting. You guys have been really involved with trying to develop health programs in this community.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about, some of that involvement with the community? It seems like there's a lot of behind the scenes things that people really just don't hear about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So really the mission of the store is to serve the community. We believe in the entrepreneurs that are developing and growing and creating products around here. We want to support them as much as possible, and we want to make local products accessible to local consumers. I mean, we just really believe in building a strong, close-knit community. We have strong ties to providing healthy, organic food, but our top mission is just creating a strong, thriving local community. So that's where we've been putting a lot of our focus, and we're excited with what's coming here in the spring. We're finally going to have a lot of local produce and stuff coming back in, and we have it's a community-supported agriculture program, and so that's a program that will basically source produce from a number of farmers. We have over 10 different growers that we're buying produce off of, and we'll bring that in, and then people will receive a box of produce every week with that program. So we're just really trying to figure out how to keep moving and making local produce accessible.
It also seems like you're really streamlining that process from farm to table, trying to help make it as easy as possible to get that local produce.
Yep, that's our mission.
There's one more thing. The Give Dinner, I do want to let everyone know we're going to review that about mid-April to see what the current health situation is in the community, because we know a lot of our families, we really don't want none of the kiddos to get it or the families, what's going on. But the give dinner, I was always intrigued because that was really the first contact directly outside of
Hmm.
the health coalition meetings I've had with Lost River. Could you tell us a little bit how that started? And I know for our group, it's mainly going to be our design is for a social dinner for the families,
Hmm.
but just like what the heart of it was.
Yeah. So I really, with these gift dinners, have to give credit to our members that shop at the store. The co-op as a store organized it, but it was our shoppers that made the actual donations. But basically, we have what we call our gift program right around the holidays, and that provides. Well, it's where customers can make a donation of $25, $50, or $150 for providing food to people in need at the time. And this year we decided to include within that a dinner for 30 people. And we had 5 of those dinners donated by 5 different members of the store. And this was one of them. And so it's basically a free dinner for 30 people. What we've been making is chicken pot pie casserole, which is so good. It's homemade, and they do a green salad with it and some bread. And yeah, everybody we've served it to thus far. Our first one was to the fire department here in town, and our second one was the police department. And then we did one at the store for WIC recipients. So this fourth one would be here. Is that what you guys are thinking?
It's going to be Paley Wesleyan. We worked out with them where we ought
Okay.
to use their gym. And like I said, we're going to review about April 15th.
Right.
We're going
We'll
to talk with you
see.
and see what the
Yeah.
health
See.
is. But we're really excited for that. We've got a large open area so the kids can play. They also said it's a little bit more soundproof. That way there's not going to be the echoing and stuff, so the kids can really enjoy it even if they have some sensory concerns.
And something, we can talk about this that we could potentially do is kind of a grab and go option where people could stop in and grab it to go if they had to in that case. But yeah.
Families, real quick, when you watch this, if you'd like to comment below or send us a message on that idea too, I'd love to hear that idea as well from you all on what you think. Because we want
comfortable for
our
people.
community inclusion's whole goal is to try to develop programs to help families make things easier. So we'd love to know what your input is.
Mhm.
Sorry for stopping for a second.
That's good. So there's options with that, but that was born out of, we love to share our food with people. Like everybody that works at the co-op is about food. We just love our food, and so that is what we enjoy sharing with the community. And this was just a good way to do that.
All right. And I thank you so much for taking the time to come over this evening and taking time away from your family to be over
Yeah,
here.
no problem. I do have one more thing. Something we're working on right now at the co-op is a prepaid food account. So if somebody just can't afford groceries right now, they can come into the store, let us know, if you need a little bit of assistance, and we have some money on account at the store to help people cover some of their food costs. So that is available to anyone. And we're building that and seeing how the situation goes, but that's something else we want to try to offer the community.
All right. I'm going to include a picture a little bit later, but Purdue Extension and some other agencies have really been working on trying to help meet the food need for kids, which me and my wife got to go out and deliver a meal, a bunch of groceries this morning with that project. As a community, we do need to keep an eye out. We right now don't know how long this is going to last. We're all here together. Please take time to consider looking through your pantry, seeing what you have in there that maybe your family doesn't like to eat, but that's still good that you can donate. There's donation boxes set up here at Paoli Friends Church up on the porch. Love Never Fails is a donation site over in West Baden. Paoli Walmart, if you want to grab an extra can, they have little baskets that you can put the food in there. And Orleans Christian Church is also another donation site, and that's just another way of also trying to help families make it through this time right now as a community. That's the one thing I love about this place. It's our community. It comes together when there's a hard time or a need. And so that's working together with a lot of different agencies to try to make these projects work, just like your project with the prepaid. That's the one thing amazing about this community is it comes together in times of need.
Mm-hmm. We've felt that, and that's always been our experience.
All right. So families, I know, got one thing here. Ashley Walton, which is is our secretary for our board. So thank you, Ashley, for tuning in. Lots of amazing things you guys are doing. Bless you.
Thank you. Bless you too.
If you do have a question and you're watching this on a replay, please put it in the comments or shoot us a message, and I'll be more than happy to email over to Brandon and get you an answer and message you back to let you know what it is. That's the one thing. We're just trying to build up community relations and understanding. I'm trying to think of anything else really needs to be said. Is there anything you'd like to talk about or mention?
I can't think of anything. Again, one thing Lost River Market has is food. So we just ask that don't nobody be afraid to reach out if you need help. That's what we're there for. We're a community store, and everybody's welcome. And we want people to feel supported in this time of kind of uncertainty and chaos. So never be afraid to reach out.
All right, the last thing that I did have on my little schedule that I made up before the computer issues with our streaming software. May 30th, there is the Orange County Safety Fair. This is actually the fourth year for safety fairs in the county, but this is the first year opening to the public. We have, and if I miss anyone, I'm very sorry. Orange County Sheriff's Department has been in communication with us and taking part for this year. Thank you, Josh. Paoli Police Department, we talked with them at one of the town hall meetings. They want to take part again. This will be their second year. Orleans, I'm going to say Orleans Fire. I know you had the municipal thing, and everyone, I try to say it together. I messed it up, so sorry. But they are planning on taking part. This is their second year as well. They're going to bring out their brush truck, and then, if weather allows, the historic truck, just kind of show a history of the fire service in the area. Orange County Rural District 2, they're looking at coming again this year with rescue, and they also have a little bit of an ag twist. I don't think I'm going to release too much quite yet, but that ties in with Purdue Extension, which is coming on board this year, allowing us to be at the fairgrounds, and also bringing in ag safety. So I'm really excited with working with Abby over there. Trying to think real quick so I don't forget. Area Back 17, they're going to be there with a table because the helicopter can't land at the fairgrounds safely with the power lines and the hillside. But they will have the air base open on May 30th if we're doing with the safety fair going on, so that families can tour the helicopter. And Indiana Army National Guard, depending on their deployment status at the time, they're going to be planning on being there with an ARAB truck and possibly some other equipment and talking about national disaster response. They actually decided that back in early February, January, so that they kind of picked that topic a little ahead of everything that went on. But that might be able to actually talk a little bit more about how they responded to things going on in our community now. And we're also very thankful for Right Implement. They're going to bring out some tractors to actually be able to show farm safety around the farm equipment. And the Paoli Alliance, we want to thank you guys as well for coming on as a sponsor for this event. It's greatly appreciated. We're also working with a few others. United Way, we've been talking with them, and we're really excited to be working with them this year for the event. We got a few others, but we haven't actually officially agreed as sponsors yet. So as soon as we get that okay, we'll be happy to share with you. Of course, with everything going on, I do want to say, beginning of May, we will evaluate the health situation for the safety fair. And depending on how we need to do it, we're going to have the safety fair, but we're going to possibly have to push it back farther in the year, depending on when it's safe for the community. And if all the emergency services agree, what our goal will be is to hopefully use this, if we have to, as kind of like a celebration as a community to come together and enjoy a public event again. So please just keep an eye on our Facebook page and stay tuned for updates on that. So again, thank you though for coming today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Patrick.
If anyone has any questions real quick before we hop off, if you'd like to comment in there, we'll try to get those answered before we end the stream. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in or watching later, and we'll let you know anything.